Now, the other day, Drake dropped his new album Scorpion that has pretty much everybody and their mama talking. A lot of people are enjoying the album, a lot of people are loving the album. Of course, there's a lot of mixed opinions about it, and I'll make a review on it once I've listened to it a little bit more. But there's a song on the second half of the album titled Don't Matter featuring Michael Jackson.
It don't matter to me. It don't matter to me what you say.
And this is actually some unreleased and unfinished vocals by Michael that Drake got a hold of and decided to put on his album. Now, the controversial part about this entire thing is the fact that Michael Jackson's own nephew is not happy about Drake using Michael's vocals on his album. So the nephew's name is Austin Brown, and he is actually family by blood. This is not someone just claiming to be family when they're not, just so you know. Anyway, so this is what he had to say regarding Michael's vocals being used on Scorpion. I just feel like if he didn't finish it, then you shouldn't use it. I respect the artist, but I just don't feel like it's okay to use someone's vocals and change them. It's music at the end of the day. I know it's art. I'm not gonna say taking advantage. I wouldn't do it.
I mean, like, won't you prefer like being released as a single? But I mean, like,
I just feel like I feel like if he didn't finish it, you shouldn't use it.
Now, that's what Michael's own nephew had to say about Michael Jackson's vocals on Scorpion. And when I heard about the news for the first time, the only thing I was thinking was, did Drake really just use Michael's vocals without asking the family? Because that's what it seems like from reading what Austin Brown had to say. But then I remembered that this is only one person who is connected to Michael Jackson by blood who feels this way, or at least has vocalized their opinion about it. I mean, for all we know, Drake has a very close relationship with some of Michael's direct family, and then he asked them for the blessings and then he got the vocals on his album. So that could be a possibility, because I honestly can't see Drake taking it as far as not asking anyone from the Jackson family for their permission as a way to show courtesy before he got the vocals. But then again, even if he didn't do that, would that be such a big issue? I think as a way to show respect and show that you have good intentions with getting Michael's vocals, that would really be the only right move. But then again, I think we always got to keep in mind that the music business is really just a business at the end of the day. And since these were some unreleased vocals, we gotta realize that Drake most likely paid a fat ass check to get him on his album. So it's not like he morally did anything wrong. But then again, I'm kind of wondering, what was the intentions behind putting Michael Jackson's unreleased vocals on your album? Was it maybe because you had so much appreciation for him and you wanted to pay your respect to him? Or maybe did you do that as a way to get more attention to your album? Because just imagine how many new people are listening to Drake's album just because they want to hear Michael Jackson's voice on it. Michael was an international and worldwide star, and pretty much everybody knows about him. So that's a lot of new fans and listeners Drake is probably getting from doing this. Of course, he could be doing it purely because he genuinely wanted to pay homage to Michael, because if you don't know, MJ has been a huge inspiration to Drake as an artist.
Michael Jackson, for me, was one of the first times that I really realized the power of an entertainer. He was the first artist that I ever experienced that really made you get lost in Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? His music, the imagery, the choices that he made for, like, you know, cover art and stuff. Like, now that I'm older, I can look back and be like, wow, you know, like, he was one of the most consistent entertainers of all time.
So to say that there's no chance that he only did it for homage would be me lying. But then I'd also be lying if I said that Drake is completely oblivious to the amount of attention this is gonna bring to his Scorpion album. Now, there's another situation we can compare this to that involves Drake, Aaliyah, and DMX. And by the way, yes, it's actually pronounced Aaliyah and not Aaliyah. Just see for yourself.
Aaliyah.
Yes.
I say Aaliyah. It's Aaliyah. Like Muhammad Aaliyah.
Now, if you know anything about Drake, then you know that his love for Aaliyah is very real. Drake has sampled her voice a couple of times in his songs.
Can you talk to me? Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Let me know. Let me know.
And then apart from that, he also has a tattoo of her face on his back, so I think it's very clear that Drake has a lot of love for her. But a couple years ago, Drake was actually working on a posthumous Aaliyah album alongside with his producer 40, and the amount of negative backlash Drake got from this was crazy. They got so much backlash from this that they had to call off the entire project. Someone who had a lot to say about Drake working on this Aaliyah album was DMX himself.
What, nigga? It is what it is, man.
Have you heard the first song?
Nah, man. But I mean, it's wrong. At least honor her legacy, like honor what she did. Like, you have no right to make it yours. If you're gonna allow it to live on, do it in a manner that honors what she did. You think, oh, I'm gonna take this and who the fuck are you?
Now, if you didn't understand what DMX was trying to say, it's understandable because, you know, my mans was off the Hennessy, as Pac liked to say. Basically, he was saying, Drake, you're profiting off of Aaliyah's death, you're using her name for your own good, and you didn't really even know her, and it's 100% wrong, stop it. Now, I know this situation is way more extreme than Drake using Michael's vocals on his album, because here we're talking about an entire Aaliyah album, but I think there's definitely a lot of connections to draw here. What if, okay, just what if Drake is using MJ's vocals as a way to garner as much attention as possible to his album? Then yeah, I definitely think it's a little bit morally wrong, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it's just music. But then again, we really don't even know if that's truly Drake's intentions. But to give my final thoughts on this entire situation, is Drake wrong here? Honestly, I don't think Drake has done anything wrong at all. Even though one person who's connected to Michael by blood is not in support of Drake using Michael's vocals, I really can't say that Drake is really doing anything wrong here at all. If we're gonna use a little bit of common sense here, Drake paid for those vocals to be on his album because that's how it works. At the end of the day, the way I see it is, this is music. And it's not like he disrespected MJ's legacy in any type of way, even though I'm gonna have to say that his vocals sounded very weird, can't even lie. I'm assuming they probably changed it a lot to adapt to Drake's part, so yeah, it didn't really sound that good, but of course, in general, the song is really good and I'm definitely bumping it. But hey, I want to know what you personally have to say about this entire topic. Do you personally approve of Drake using unreleased Michael Jackson vocals and putting them on his album? Or maybe do you not approve, just like Michael's own nephew? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and let's have a discussion about this. But as always, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This channel is all about bringing together people like you who enjoy music and start a discussion on different topics like this. And of course, like the video if you enjoyed it, follow me on all my social media accounts. It's on the screen and I'm out.